Going hard. See, now who's getting too dogged out.
Oh, I don't know. That was my neighbor's dog, not me. I'm not even doing anything.
I'm not even here, right? I'm not even supposed to be here today.
2 recordings, 2 Nitros in one day.
Don't peel the curtain.
Oh, you don't want me to reveal? 2 Nitros in back-to-back weeks is very difficult.
It's actually been like 27 Nitros in back-to-back weeks if we're just doing it that way.
I would say this episode brought to you by our friends at something that sells their own merchandise.
What?
Huh?
Where were you going?
Squarespace?
Oh, we're just doing fake ads.
No, I don't know.
Somebody straight up fake podcast. Yeah, brought to you by Squarespace, Audible, Casper mattresses.
Oh, Casper mattresses.
Every other goddamn thing that advertises on every and guys, throw on some Mack Weldon underwear while you're at it.
This episode.
I think here's
6 months.
No, here's a free plug. This podcast is brought to you by orange sorbet flavored Coca-Cola. That was pretty good.
Yeah, it's very delicious.
Shout out to orange sorbet Coca-Cola. How about Cloaca Cola, and it's for birds. What about that?
That's I don't know if that's going to be a high seller.
How about
I don't know. Are we doing this again?
Yeah.
What were we doing before?
What?
In the car on the way down last time.
Oh, we're doing Gay Terminator.
Yeah. Just Terminator Genesises.
Terminator Menesis.
Yeah.
Terminator Genesis, not trans. But no, a new one. I was like, what about WCW Monday Nitro? And it's just for guys.
I would say it is just for guys. I don't know a lot of girls that are watching 18 years later WCW.
Probably those fat girls of Mike Osmer are watching. Watching along with the podcast.
I somehow doubt they even paid attention to Nitro.
They're listeners.
I don't know if that's true.
We, and also for peeling back behind the curtain, we both just vaped weed so hard that we shit our pants.
Yeah, I'm sitting in my own poop right now.
So this is gonna be a shorter episode because we both need to change pants. But we're each going to try to prank the other and give our shit pants as the other person's replacement pants and see if we can trick them.
And see if we get putting it on and having double poop butt. 2 poops, 1 butt.
It's a good show.
I mean, I'm sure that show's been made. It's just been called different shows, but as I was saying, I feel like this one was a lot easier to watch.
Wasn't bad.
Because there was a ton of wrestling on it.
10 matches?
Now, debatably, some of those matches were horrible.
Yeah.
But some of them were, like, reasonably fun.
Yeah. Did we say we're July 18th, 2000, coming at you from Auburn Hills, Mich?
We did now.
Again? Now we did. Did we make a note that July 18th, 2000 is a Tuesday?
You vaguely mentioned it on the previous episode.
This was WCW Tuesday Nitro.
Yeah.
And
why was it preempted again? Was there some kind of presidential speech or maybe the NBA
national
playoffs?
Emergency or Hurricane Katrina came 5 years early or something?
George Bush doesn't care about black people.
George Bush doesn't care about black people. But he was just about to get not elected president. Exciting. Nitro on Monday was preempted on TNT, Turner Network Television, by Part 2 of Nuremberg, the TNT original movie miniseries.
It's like a miniseries, yeah.
Yeah. Which, in 2000, Turner has dubbed more important than the show that's on there every week. Right, like, I'm sure he could have easily put that show on anytime during the week. I don't know.
You'd think a man who owns the network would be like, "Hey, what are we doing with all these reruns of Roseanne? Should we leave those on and take Nitro off the air?" Like, yeah, you know what, Ted? You're talking my language now.
I mean, in 2000, a fair move, I would say.
Yeah, for sure. But I mean, a live televised show or reruns of fucking All in the Family.
No. TBS is a Big Mama's House channel.
They didn't have Big Mama's house then.
I 100% meant Mama's Family.
Yeah.
The Vicki Lawrence one.
Yeah.
Big Mama's house was a trans black man.
Yeah.
In a suit.
There's multiple ones.
Multiple trans black men?
No, multiple movies. Definitely much older than Mama's Family.
Yeah.
Mama's Family was in 1983
yeah.
to 1990.
Yeah, I didn't say they were airing new episodes.
Oh, you were just...
TBS is a Mama's Family station.
Gotcha.
It's briefly, before it was called the Superstation, it was called the Mama's Family Station.
What was... there was another show similar to Mama's Family that I remember watching too much of as a kid.
All in the Family?
No.
Which was, I believe, based on Mama's Family. Carol O'Connor based his character on Vicki Lawrence. Also, Carol O'Connor?
Yeah.
For a man?
I don't know. Carol.
That's a tough one.
I mean, Kelly's a girl's name, and boys have that.
I don't know any. I'm Scott, by the way. That's true.
I'm not Kelly.
Dan and Kelly, still fired.
Yeah, we're still in negotiations with bringing back one Kelly Lillian Summers.
Yeah.
But one Daniel M.B. Fadak may or may not be allowed back on the premises after his actions his entire life.
We'll see what happens after the restraining order expires.
Vicki Lawrence. Alive? Or R.I. possible?
No, she's alive. I'd have heard about Vicki Lawrence.
She's alive.
I keep pretty tight tabs on the cast of the Carol Burnett show.
Reasonable she.
You got Carol Burnett. You got Vicki Lawrence. You got Tim Conway. You got
Dabney Coleman.
Harvey Korman.
Harvey Korman.
You got who's the handsome man?
You're not going to do it.
Lyle Wagner. Suck it.
I don't believe you.
Nailed it.
I'm going to look it up, Daniel.
Look it up, Daniel, all you want.
I don't believe you.
Scott just nailed the cast of the Carol Burnett show. And you also have to tell me what the Mama's Family-like show was that you were watching.
I couldn't tell you. I'm never going to remember that.
Sure it wasn't his Mama's Family?
I'm too high. I crap my pants. Whoa. Anywho, enough looking up Carol Burnett related things.
Oh, man. I did it. Oh, my.
You went for 11 seasons. You got your Harvey Kormans. You got your Lyle Wagner.
Thank you.
But spelled weird.
Wagoner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you got your Tim Conways.
Like
you got
a guy
your,
who wagons.
You got your Ernie Anderson.
Nobody knows who that is. Don't pretend.
Ken Berry.
Nobody knows Ken Berry.
Dick Van Dyke.
The Dick Van Dyke Show.
Jim Neighbors.
Yeah, but he wasn't a regular.
Bernadette Peters.
These are guest stars.
No, these are all people that were on multiple episodes.
Turn off the internet.
Fine. Eat my butt. Where to start? At the end? Should we do the end first and then work our way backwards to the start of the show?
We should do a Bizarro Day. I think this is maybe one of the worst days to do it, considering it's a tournament.
Yes.
Well, I guess you could sort of
find out who earlier.
No, I was trying to decide what movie reference to make. I was gonna say you could sort of Memento it, you could sort of Pulp Fiction it, but like those don't go like
finish
back to front. The only one I can think of that goes back to front is Irreversible. And if you haven't seen the Irreversible, might I say, if you are in the market for a 6-minute French rape scene, mwah, chef kisses fingers, I cannot think of a better one.
On a dirty, dirty floor.
On a dirty floor outside. In a tunnel.
In a tunnel.
It's
An
great.
underground tunnel, yeah. Underground tunnel. A tunnel. You know.
You know, like tunnels work.
Above ground tunnels. Anyways, we start this one with a package reminding everyone how Scott Sutton is a psychopath.
Yeah.
And he wants to kill people.
Yeah.
And in any other profession, he would be in prison right now. They also 100% break kayfabe by saying that everyone knows Scott Sutton's difficult to deal with.
They were saying all the kayfabe stuff, but they're like, also, he's very difficult to work with backstage. We're like, what does that mean?
Breaking fabe. We did learn, however, from the package that Steiner did turn heel at the pay-per-view.
Yes.
As we thought he just turned heel on Nitro.
Just randomly.
But it turns out he jumped Nash at the pay-per-view and turned his back on him.
Cost him the match against Goldberg, and thereby Scott Hall's contract.
Yes. And that will never be brought up again.
Shouldn't have been brought up in the first place.
They also showed a package of him being interviewed by Mike Tenay, where he then tries to murder him on camera.
That was pretty cool.
By choking him to death.
It sounded like what triggered the choking was Tenay bringing up Steiner's childhood.
Yes.
So I want to know who hurt you, Scotty.
No one.
Rick?
He hurt other people. That's why. He molested his parents.
Interesting.
They didn't want it, but big old Scotty wouldn't hear the end of it. So, they announced in the thing that Steiner had been suspended again. Once we actually get to the show, Stevie Ray is on commentary, which I think they brought up later that Scott Hudson was sick or something.
Yeah.
But we immediately cut to the back where Steiner is destroying Booker T's brand new expensive sports car that Stevie Ray mentions that definitely not.
Or use 1979 Z28. Either way.
That was bought off a lot earlier that day.
Yeah.
And then, so Big Brother Rick comes and stops them, and they go in the building or whatever. Didn't we get the fucking cat?
The fucking cat. He's everywhere.
Cat counter,
He's
man.
The cat is the new... I was going to say the cat is the new NWO music counter, but I remember we also had the Harris Brothers H-Bone counter, and that brings up the question, where's my boys the Harrises?
They're too busy organizing rallies.
Just as a series of rallies every Monday?
Pre-ordering tiki torches. For 18 years, 17 years in the future.
Yeah, in Charlottesville, like pre-ordering tiki torches, Under Armour polos, and Dockers.
Wait, Under Armour polos?
Under Armour makes polos.
Do they actually?
Yes.
I don't know if I believe you.
Look, you're going to question me on a white power rally?
That is correct. If anyone would know, it would be you. Yep. Okay, Cat comes to the ring, announces that this show will be a one-show-long United States title tournament.
Oh, man, I thought you were going to say this. The Cat came out to let us know that this show will be a one-show-long show. Thanks, the Cat.
Thanks, the Cat. This show will be one show.
This show is scheduled for one show.
Yeah, so he announces that there's a U.S. title tournament tonight, gives us the rundown of the matches, but then the Steiner brothers and Medeja bust their way to the ring.
And then you say to yourself, how awesome in the year 2000 would it be if we got Steiners versus Harlem Heat? Which they then go on to set up and do exactly like you thought they would, and then do something else.
They get in, they all brawl, they get pulled apart by referees. The Cat says to Scott Steiner, you want a title match tonight?
The Cat says to Scott Steiner, hey, you and your brother want to brawl with Harlem Heat? Well, you're getting a match with Goldberg.
Hey, you know that thing that you want?
You know the thing we didn't set up and a separate different thing that you want? You got it.
That's... Like, they couldn't have made it more blatantly obvious that that's what they were doing.
Yeah.
Like, hey, these are two of the biggest tag teams WCW's ever had.
Let's
it's
literally
been
have
several
them fight.
years since they've wrestled each other. Let's have them all in the ring brawling and we have to pull them apart.
And that's enough.
And we gave them enough. They don't need an actual match. They just need to watch them, get pulled apart from
And we
each
also
other.
said, we know that match wouldn't be good, per se.
No.
We just want to see it.
It would just be cool.
Yeah.
To do that in 2000. So they all get pulled apart or whatever. Then we go to commentary where Tony Schiavone is trying to tell Stevie Ray that he needs to calm down so they can talk about the U.S. title tournament. As Stevie Ray is calming down to talk about it, you see behind him, you see Jeff Jarrett climb the guardrail.
Like, sneak over, like, in a silent movie.
Spin Stevie Ray in his chair and just blast him with a guitar.
Blammo. It was great.
Which Stevie sold so stupid. He's like tipped his chair over with his legs straight in the air, in shot still.
Yeah, it was great.
Like, instead of rolling over and selling
then, the headset cord got, like, wrapped around Stevie's leg, and Jared had to, like, untangle it.
It was so dumb.
And then Jarrett cuts a promo for the TV audience, but everyone live just like doesn't see or hear anything.
Yeah. He says that Book had better watch out. Blah blah blah. He then calls Tony Schiavone Slapstein.
Yeah, like a Jewish last name.
Like a Jewish slapnuts.
Please call us at Barry Q. Slapstein and Associates. We will get you all the money because we own the bank.
At this point, you made an observation that you thought that Mark Madden had gotten fatter because he was standing up on camera this time.
Yeah, I wasn't ready for it. Like, I know he's fat. We call him a pig every show, and I was still surprised how fat he was.
But I said it's because when he's sitting down, the table cuts half of him off.
Yeah, it's a high table too.
But as soon as he stands up, it's
all out there.
It's like an ice cream that has started to melt, but the inside's still really cold, so it just like loops kind of down and drips to the bottom of the cone.
It is a loopy fat.
Yeah, it's the loopiest fat man you'll ever see. I mean,
which I must quote Beyond Wrestling promoter Denver, Colorado, the man, not the place, once describing a girl as she's fat, but she's not loopy fat, so I give her an A.
But he is loopy fat.
He is loopy fat.
So we have the first match of the tournament, which is Canyon versus Mike Awesome. Finally, Canyon committed to bleaching his hair.
And soon, Canyon committed suicide.
5 years later.
Somewhere
5 or 6.
Yeah.
It was around the Benoit accident, right?
Yeah, it was Canyon before or after Benoit.
Ooh. Was he pre-BM?
Was he from a pre or post BM time? I'm gonna say Gonna say post.
Oh, way post.
Yeah.
2010.
Okay.
Yeah, I thought it was way earlier than that.
2010, good year. Canyon and Landscape.
Gone too soon?
Gone too soon.
I don't know which one I would even care about, but
Canyon did more moves. Moves are cool.
Sure.
As a professional backyard wrestler, moves are cool.
Yeah. Anyways, Canyon's dead. This is actually a battle of dead guys.
Yes.
Battle of suiciders.
2 suicides, yeah.
Neither one of you are in heaven right now.
Wrestling's great, and neither of you went to
heaven.
Well,
one of them wasn't going to get in regardless.
Yeah, one of them goes double. One of them goes to a lower circle than the other.
Double
if I've read my Inferno correctly.
I think it's double hell.
Suiciders are in level 5, and gay suiciders are in level 8.
It's just classic math.
It's classic math.
Gay makes you worse.
Yeah.
We're in trouble.
Drew, we're not in trouble. I don't know if you've seen the latest statistics, but we are the #1 alt-right wrestling podcast on iTunes. In case you hadn't heard.
How does that mean that we're not in trouble for gay?
Because all our listeners are cool with it.
How?
Because they're all alt-right.
Okay.
Who's going to report us?
I don't.
No one's going to snitch on us. Richard Spencer listens to us. Sam Hyde listens to us. A third person listens to us. All the hits of the alt-right. Milo Yiannopoulos listens to us. Who's the other one? Ben Shapiro listens to us. I can only go so deep, but none of these guys are snitches, is what I'm saying.
I don't know why.
Oh, wait, Milo's gay, but he likes attention even more than cock, so we should be okay.
Well, I'm glad that we had this conversation on a wrestling podcast.
Correct.
That we are
that
we are getting kicked off of iTunes anytime that anybody reports us.
That's the thing, we're not getting reported. Our listenership is so down with everything we're saying.
Is Steve Schneider?
Yeah.
He's
converted.
Gregory Sage?
The most.
All right. I'll believe you. By the way, those are only 2 listeners.
One's from Pennsylvania and one's from Tennessee. You tell me.
Yeah.
I've been to those places. They're trash. The people there are trash, but they agree with our politics.
We discovered that Mike Awesome pretty much comes out to straight up beautiful people.
Yeah, I think it's just the beautiful people.
It's just instrumental beautiful people, which he wasn't before. For some reasons that are revealed later, Buff and Judy Bagwell come to the ring, and Judy's wearing a neck brace
because there is once again a very exciting thunder that we missed,
where Canyon cutter Judy Bagwell.
Yeah.
This is setting up the infamous
Judy Bagwell on a
forklift match.
I think they literally wanted a pole, but couldn't make the science work.
Yeah. But upper butt. The human anus is almost nightmarishly elastic.
The Newlywed Game. Where is the most interesting place you have made whoopee? In the butt, Bob. That was a real thing that happened on television.
Yes, it did. In this match, we realized that Mike Awesome.
Who was the host of that? Bob Eubanks? Was that a person? Kevin Eubanks' white dad?
Yeah, it was. You nailed it. Bob Hope. We realized in this match that Mike Awesome goes 100 miles an hour.
Yeah, it's going
all the time.
Yeah. Another guy. Actually, this is a battle of two guys who like moves.
Yeah. Canyon does a pretty awesome apron to floor Canyon cutter through a table.
Yep.
And then I got mad at him for no selling it, but he got up, sold
a little bit,
and then sold it. And I was like, all right,
delayed sell. It was all right.
But that almost it kind of feels like a finish.
Yeah. A finisher off the apron through a table?
Yeah.
Yeah.
However, Canyon gets back in the ring, and the referee goes outside the ring to check on Mike Awesome, which at this point leads to Canyon coming out and grabbing...
Canyon coming out?
Not yet.
Okay.
Or did he ever? I don't think so.
It was dicey the whole time.
I'm gay now.
But kidding, maybe? Maybe.
No one's paying attention to me. I mean, so yeah, Canyon goes outside the ring, grabs Judy Bagwell, and it looks like he was supposed to Canyon cutter her, but she
it turns into a snapmare.
It's a snapmare, or it's just like a grab and roll off.
Yeah.
Which then leads Buff to chase after him.
Yeah.
But when they're running back into the ring, they run into plain sight of the referee, who is checking on Mike Awesome.
Yeah.
And they get in the ring, Buff bumps him, gives him a Buff blockbuster, so a finisher.
Yep. That's correct.
Mike Awesome rolls into the ring, goes for the pin on Canyon, 2 count!
Yep.
On a finisher!
This is the theme for July is interference, hitting finishers.
Interference that gets a 2 count.
Yeah.
Finishers, and women talking on mics.
I don't like any of those things.
Yeah, correct. I especially don't like women. Big hands and hairy forearms and big Adam's apples.
Women.
Yeah, Mike Awesome then proceeds to, they wrestle for another, 30 seconds. Mike Awesome hits his power bomb and then wins. And as he's standing in the ring celebrating, fat girl panties are thrown in the ring at him by his 2, groupies that are sitting front row that are hefty women.
Yeah.
just ridiculous.
You got real psyched about those panties.
Oh, I mean, I'm really psyched about the fucking Mike Awesome going forward.
The prospects of what's happening for the next couple months in Mike Awesome land.
Then after the panties...
Oh, speaking of, before we forget, let's talk about dates for a minute.
Okay,
let's talk about
bad dates.
Let's talk about September 25th.
They'll kill you.
No, not those kind of dates. Calendar dates.
Okay.
Specifically, the next one we're looking forward to. We had the Bischoff Russo reset. We had Urethra just recently. Next up, September 25th, 2000. Not only the Shaggy Two-Dope versus Bus wins incident, we were also having a look at title histories, and there is a vicious rumor that a certain non-wrestler wins a world title that same date. This sounds like the most amazing Nitro. So, guys, mark September 25th on your iCals, and on your Yahoo, on your GeoCities calendar application.
Only the second time a non-wrestler will win the world title in the history of wrestling.
And both occurred within 6 months.
Yeah.
A strong year. Which is why we're doing this year.
Oh, God, it's awful. After the panties are thrown in the ring, Mark Madden definitely uses the term that Mike Awesome loves that Crisco, which is that...
Which nobody enjoyed.
Don't know what he's implying. I can take guesses.
Yeah, I don't, like, yeah.
Is he implying that having sex with fat girls is like having sex with a thing full of Crisco? Because it's, like, slimy and fat?
If that's just the secretions produced, if he physically uses it.
Yeah. Yeah, just, like, jam it in there.
Scoop jam.
We then have a interview in the back with Pamela Pounderhole, which is what I legitimately wrote down, with Lance Storm, where she's explaining to Lance that she thinks he's cute.
Storm tells her to fuck up.
And Lance literally... He is a eunuch. We then get a thing in the back where Buff is telling his brother Muff Bagwell to take his mom home.
I think it was John, I'll go with Muff.
It's Muff. Well, it's Buff and Muff.
Buff and Muff.
Because Killy's rough, Bagwell.
Scruff.
Yeah. So he... Then we then get Am I Smooth talking with Canyon, which we find out is something later. Then the next...
Spoiler, it's a double cucking.
Oh, it's a double cucking for the ages. So then the next match is, hey, remember when Buff Bagwell was out in the ring for Canyon and Mike Awesome? Then decided to go to the back so that he can come back out to do his entrance again?
Yeah.
So
Buff Bagwell has done his full entrance twice in 10 minutes.
Yeah. This one's Buff Bagwell versus Lance Storm, which in theory could have been a decent match. It was fine.
Yeah.
There was a massive back body drop by Bagwell to Storm.
Yes.
But then we cut to the camera on the back, and it is Am I Smooth cucking Judy Bagwell. So cucking
Muff
Bagwell.
Cucking Muff.
Muff Bagwell.
Because Muff was taking her to the car.
He tells him something.
Yeah, Smooth cucks Muff.
And then
Smooth's
shoves
got
her
Judy,
in the car.
Shoves her in the car. Then Canyon comes in, cucks Smooth.
Yeah.
And gives her a fake off-screen Canyon cutter.
Yeah.
Which we thought we were just going to see him do on the concrete.
Yeah. Buff sees this. He gets distracted and gets pulled into the Canadian Maple Leaf. Immediately taps.
Yeah.
So that he can try and book it to the back to save his mom. The match should have been better, but it was all dumb storyline.
Yeah.
Then the more cat stuff where he's in the office with some slut. One of the Nitro girls, I think.
Some slut.
And some mysterious Asian music starts to play.
Which
that
the slut couldn't hear.
The cat can hear.
So apparently it's like the Hogan seeing Warrior in the mirror gimmick, where Hogan and the entire viewing audience are the ones who are crazy, and the only sane person is Bischoff.
Of course.
Yeah, so it's like that. So Random Slut is the only
sane
not
person.
Crazy person, and us and Kat are all seeing and hearing imaginary Orientals.
Oh, yeah. So, of course, at this point we get more karate.
Karate.
So the cat and the Young Dragons begin to karate fight themselves, fight each other.
Everybody was kung fu fighting.
Only to have Stevie Ray come in and no-sell the guitar shot.
Yes.
And start trying to murder the Asians.
Chinese men.
Which then Cat stops him and tells him that they're just playing. These are his friends. They're just having fun. Stevie Ray demands a match with Jeff Jarrett, and the Cat says, if you just let me and my boys play and finish,
then you can have the match. Those are words he used.
Wordplay, my friends, and I'm sure no one even realized.
No. Let me finish with these three
younger
Asian men.
Well, I bet you Kazuyashi and him are not that far apart.
Yeah. P.S. For those who didn't listen last week, Jamie-san, the best of the three at karate. So the next tournament match is the Great Muta versus Vampiro. Vampiro comes out with the ICP and the Demon, and they are now the Dark Carnival, which has not been mentioned before today. No. And Vampiro was in Juggalo Paint.
He was in Juggalo Paint and Juggalo Pants.
Yes.
Or like a skirt.
Just trash.
Skirt pants.
Just trash pants.
Then, the beginning of the match, fucking Muta green mist everyone, and
yes,
you had suggested he's got so much juice.
So much juice inside him. Hot take, Great Muta is the worst wrestler in WCW. He's so boring.
He's boring, and he's just, like, bad.
He's so slow.
Because he's, like, not even trying to do... He's, like... An indie company hires a former WWF wrestler.
Yeah.
But, like, a little bit older.
Yeah, it's that.
And they're just, like, they only hit their own spots, but everything else is just them standing on the apron.
Yeah.
Or, you know, if you hire Bob Evans and pay $1,000 for him to be in a tag match.
Shout out, Brutal Bob. Yeah, what's crazy about it is that Muta is only 38.
Yeah.
He looks 50.
He looks 50 or older.
Yeah.
He moves worse now than he did in, like, 2010.
Yeah. No, I said 2000 is the worst year of Keiji Muta's career. And you're like, what about more recent? Like 2018, where he had double knee replacement, is a better and more mobile year for him than the year 2000. Which is so crazy, because in less than a year from now, he's having, like, multiple, like, legit match of the year contenders. Like him and Tenryu. Him and Nagata G1 finals. I think he had a couple good ones with, like, Tenzan and Kojima. But yeah, he has this, like, complete, like, just shaves his head and becomes magically good again somehow. Like a reverse Samson.
He was self-conscious about his thinning hair.
His hair looks like trash right now.
It looks real bad. Yeah, it looks real bad. We were really hoping that this match was going to have potential.
It was bad. It was so boring.
The highlight of this match was when I said, "Look at that guy," and there was a very
big fat
pasty
dude.
white dude in the crowd with his shirt off.
Yeah.
Like,
just
jiggling his boobs around and yelling at the people. I, like, literally my notes are slow pace.
Yeah.
Muta tries to break his own neck on a Hurricane Rana.
Oh yeah. You know where you just do, like, a straight on Hurricane Rana, but you like just go on your neck and both of you roll over it instead of you, like, doing, like, more of a backflip with it. Yeah, it was that kind.
Muta won, which we didn't think was going to happen.
Yeah, just, like, clean.
But the match sucked.
It was bad.
Post-match, Vampiro was mad that the Demon's interference backfired.
Yeah.
And proceeds to give him the worst spin kick ever.
The slowest, laziest spin kick that Demon could have, by all rights, avoided.
Something you would be doing to a non-wrestling female.
Yes.
When you're trying to make it look like you're hitting her.
Yeah. It was about that level.
Yeah, it was awful. So we saw that earlier in the night, we saw that Scott Steiner was just kind of sitting by the back door waiting for Goldberg because that was the match he was waiting for. So
like rocking back and forth
with a pipe, and he was going to clobber Goldberg as soon as he came through the door.
Yeah.
At this point, Ralphus and Norman arrive.
Oh man.
Ralphus walks through first, eats a pipe shot to the gut.
Then a legitimate full-on punch to the face.
Yeah, like Steiner clocks him.
Absolutely blasts him.
Yeah, and Ralphus drops.
If we never see Ralphus again on television,
we'll know why.
Not surprised.
We'll know why. Broken jaw, wired shut, drinking through a straw. That's it. Like, he rocked him.
Oh, yeah. And then also beats up Norman, but, like, way safer than
protects
Ralphus.
him. We're back to the final first-round match of the tournament. It is Shane Douglas versus Billy Kidman.
We're saying to ourselves, hey, winner of this fight's Lance Storm. Kidman's a face.
Storm's a straight-up
heel.
heel.
Storm's a straight heel. And it would be, like, probably the best possible match in the tournament.
And they teamed together
together when they were both faces, so they even have a little bit of history in Storm's short time in WCW. So, obviously, they give us Storm versus Shane Douglas, heel versus heel in the next round, because Shane Douglas wins this match for some reason.
Because they're stupid and they only care about storyline. They don't care about what happens in matches. Who does that sound like?
I can't imagine a current Fed with also too much money who does such a thing.
One of my notes is that Douglas did a up and over to the floor that I was shocked happened. Like, this is the laziest wrestler in WCW, and he does that.
Yep, Shane, he jumped from the ring, over the ropes, to the floor, and landed on his feet.
Crazy. There was, at one point, Kidman hit he had a hot comeback, he hit a couple of moves on Douglas, and what I can only think is Douglas was supposed to hit the ropes and run back at him, because Kidman hits the ropes.
Yeah.
Douglas isn't there, and he has to launch himself.
Yeah, Kidman's already committed to jumping at him.
Far side of the ring.
And just, like, awkwardly just dives on him.
Yeah, like tackles him, sort of. I mean, it looked cool because he had to go really far.
Yeah, because he jumped through 18 feet.
There was a really bad move towards the end where Douglas tried to go for a press slam, and Kidman drops down into a bulldog,
Bad.
and it was sloppy, and they both just didn't really even bump properly.
It didn't work.
And then this match had a blown finish.
You bet it did. Was there there had to be interference.
There's Tori Wilson.
Tori interference.
Bullshit. Yeah.
Tori interference. Douglas hits the franchiser.
Yes.
And
out of nowhere.
Out of nowhere, yeah.
They were doing us.
Oh, no, they did. The Tori interferes. It seems like it's going to be the 3 count. Is not. Because Tori interfered with a chair.
Yeah.
No, there were 2 of those.
Yeah.
Tori tripped him once, and he had a Pittsburgh plunge.
Yeah.
Kick out.
Yeah.
Then a little more wrestling.
Because finish, you gotta kick out.
And then Kidman does like an O'Connor roll. Douglas kicks out. Kidman through the ropes. Tori hits him with a chair. Think that's going to be finished? Nope. And then, then a little more wrestling, and then clean franchiser
and then, bam,
out of nowhere.
Franchiser finish. But the thing is, he hit the franchiser, and then it was 1, 2, 3. Douglas didn't move.
There's no kick
off
out.
of Kidman.
The ref
did
not count
stopped.
3. Yeah.
The ref said something to Douglas.
Yeah.
And then just awarded Douglas
the bell rang.
The win.
It sucked.
So whether he jaw-jackered Kidman out or something.
No, the ref fucked up.
Something got fucked up.
The ref just didn't think it was 3.
Maybe we were okay. I was saying it seemed really weird.
Yeah.
So now we get in the next round Mike Awesome and Great Muta, which we thought would be interesting. And sort of Douglas versus Storm, which we thought would be bad. Only because Shane Douglas sucks.
Yeah.
Bottom 5.
Douglas bottom 5. Bottom 5. Douglas, Jarrett, Muta. Sorry, KG. Sorry, all-time great wrestler. You are easily in the bottom 5 right now.
Yeah. Prince the Artist.
Oh, the Artist for sure.
100% the Artist. And did we even come up with a 5th? I don't know if we did.
I'm not sure if we did a 5th.
I mean, I'm sure we could think of a 5th.
Probably pretty easily. Who,
wrestling Tank, but Tank hasn't wrestled in a while.
We'll say Mark Madden as a placeholder.
Sure.
And then top 5 was we got Storm, Kidman,
Chronic,
Goldberg and Chronic fighting it out
for 5th.
Jindrak and O'Hare and Steiner.
Yeah. Steiner and Lance never leave the top 5.
I would say they don't leave until the end of those.
I'm sure Kidman probably stays on there as well because he does a lot of cool stuff.
Although I feel like
at the end of the year, and
and the cruiser stuff and okay,
and teams with Ray and stuff, and does a lot of cool stuff.
I'll tell you who's going in 2001 is I would say
Mike Saunders, Reno.
Yeah, Reno, you got it. I would say legit my favorite wrestler of the first half of 2001.
Hacksaw Jim Duggan.
Shane Helms. I love Shane Helms. He was awesome.
He
might have just been the Vertebreaker, or he might have been a good wrestler. I'm not actually sure.
I think he's a good wrestler now. He's just still pretty green.
Yeah.
And by now, I mean 2018. He's pretty green now.
He's killing it in 2018.
So we go to commercial, we come back, and 3 counts carrying a ladder to the ring.
Yeah.
Then we see Goldberg arrive and broing it up with his bros. And then we cut to the ring where Tank's in the ring. He introduces 3 count.
They all kiss.
They want to dance. They set up the ladder.
We can't dance and kiss at the same time. And Tank's like, watch this.
Watch me watching you. They set up the ladder in the ring and somehow managed to have the gold record back that the Young Dragons
that we saw the Young
last
Dragons
show.
steal last Nitro. Yeah.
But it's hanging up the ring. They set up the ladder. They go to dance.
They then announce that at the pay-per-view in 4 weeks, there's going to be a 3 count versus Young Dragons ladder match for the gold record.
They didn't say for the gold record. They just said a ladder match.
A ladder match, sorry. So in order to get us hyped for the 3 count versus Young Dragons ladder match
at the pay-per-view,
on Nitro tonight, we did a 3 count versus Young Dragons ladder match. They literally
for the gold record.
For the gold record, they literally hyped the match with the same match, which
wasn't clear to us.
Yeah.
Until towards halfway point or the end of the match.
So is this happening now or at the pay per view?
Yeah,
both.
Because the Asians start. They come in and they try to climb up the ladder to steal the records.
The Asians do. They come in and they buy all the real estate. They inflate the prices. The market's ruined for the next decade.
They don't learn our language.
They don't learn our language. They eat our dogs.
They don't intermix. They try. So the Young Dragons try to go up and steal the record again, but this time 3 Count catches them, and then they all start brawling, which we just literally just thought was a brawl.
Yeah, and then
At one point when like one of them was climbing the ladder or something, and Madden was like, "Oh, he could go up there and win the match," and we're like,
"Oh, it's a match."
A match. So there was they set up the ladder on the top rope, like across the 2 ropes in the turnbuckle.
Oh yeah.
Then Jimmy Yang went to do a double drop kick to the back and only hit one of them, so Evan had to like weirdly just duck down and move. They then tried to do a Shannon Moore runs. They launch him straight up onto the ladder.
Like, I don't know if the plan was for him to land on his feet, because that's goddamn near impossible.
Yeah, his legs went through.
Like, one leg went through.
And he did like a back roll off the ladder and just bumped.
Yeah, it looked unsafe.
Yeah, like he didn't do it properly. Then Sugar Shane does a like standing on the ropes behind the ladder.
Oh man,
leg drop over the top, but he doesn't hit anybody, and looks like he lands right in his tailbone.
Yeah,
which just looks real uncomfortable. And then at the end, Tank is dancing, and and Evan is on the ladder.
Oh boy!
They push him off the ladder where Tank is supposed to Sim Snooker him. And he doesn't, and when Evan lands, he immediately
starts clutching
holds his ankle,
and
it looks like he's in a ton of pain.
Broke your leg.
Good job, Tank. You had one fucking job. But I did look on the pay-per-view. He does wrestle, so he's obviously...
I wonder if he wrestles between now and then, though.
Oh, yeah, maybe not.
Because it's still 4 weeks.
That's true, it is 4 weeks. We then get Goldberg arriving through the door in the back, where Steiner takes a swing at his head with a pipe and misses. They then do a bunch of brawling, then security comes, and the boys come and break it up, and then whatever, we set up for later.
Yeah.
6th match of the show is the first semifinal, which is Mike Awesome versus Great Muta.
You want to read your notes in full?
I will read these word for word. Meh. It was nothing.
Okay.
It was nothing.
Yeah.
There was nothing about that match to even remember.
Yeah.
Like,
awesome one with a powerbomb.
Awesome one with a powerbomb. Then there was... Oh, the only spot in the match was that Awesome said, you want me to bring him over here, Madden? And then Madden's like, well, don't do it for me, but if you want to bring him over here... brings Muta over. Muta counters. Madden stands up at the chair in his position.
Yeah.
Which, his position is hunched over and breathing heavy.
His position is fat.
His position is bent over a trough because he's a fucking pig. Awesome moves, and Muta is supposed to blast Madden in the face with the mist. Sort of gets him,
Yeah, there wasn't a lot of juice.
Cheek and then shirt.
Muta was low on juice.
But he had his sunglasses on.
Yeah.
So he, acted like, oh, these things protected me.
So I'm not blind.
But then he's like, oh, I gotta go to the back and change my shirt for the next segment.
Yeah.
And we then have a Madden Kiwi Paisley backstage love fest.
Still Kiwi, not Kiwi.
Yeah.
See how long that lasts.
The other semifinal is next, and that is Shane Douglas versus Lance Storm. Lance has to work de facto face, which kind of is dumb.
Yeah.
But he does. Tori jumps on his back. Douglas does some, dirty... I think he straight up kicks him in the dick at one point on the outside.
Does.
He, tosses him up and, kicks his leg
classic
back.
2000 WCW transition via low blow.
At one point, Shane Douglas actually did a move. He did a Falcon Arrow.
He did a good-looking Falcon Arrow.
And we couldn't believe it.
We were taken aback.
He's still on the... He's still on the
your back. We were doing BJJ. And
were we both wearing bootsies?
We were both wearing bootsies.
Did we make eye contact?
And you might be surprised what BJJ stands for when I'm talking about it. Blowjob Jimmy.
Oh. Who's Jimmy?
Oh, you'll find
out. At some point in the match, Tori tries to get involved. Billy... Billy comes out and sits on the top of the ramp and is eating cake.
I'm not sure what
I think he was eating a cake. I think he's literally just taking handfuls of cake and shoving it in his mouth. It's
a good post-wrestling snack.
Yeah, Lance hits...
A whole cake.
Lance hits a pretty fucking good super kick.
Oh, great super kick. Yeah.
And then like locks in the Maple Leaf out of nowhere and just like taps him. He tapped all three.
Yeah,
which is pretty crazy.
I'm amazed.
And like as soon as you put, it wasn't even like
they're
fight
fast.
it.
They're fast.
It's like
taps.
they lock
like,
it in
on,
and they're
tapping.
done.
Yeah. I'm actually amazed at how well they booked Lance tonight.
I know, right?
It's crazy.
I guess when he's winning, you gotta put him over, but it is WCW.
Yeah, like I'm amazed he didn't win the title by DQ or something.
Or like interference or bullshit.
Yeah. But like three, like as a heel, getting 3 tap outs, like baffling.
At some point, Billy runs down and chases out Douglas. He then grabs Tori and the chair and drags her in the ring because he's going to sexually assault her.
Correct.
He's going to bend her over his lap and smack her butt. But for whatever reason, Rick Steiner and Medeja come out to make the save.
Sure.
They beat up Kidman.
Yeah.
For no reason whatsoever.
No, I'm like, did I miss an issue between these groups of people?
Yeah, you did now.
Okay.
So next, man, it's all matches. Like
wow.
the end of the show was
matches. Yeah.
This one is.
Oh yeah, I'm pretty sure some segments were cut because the entrances got shorter and shorter and shorter as the night went on. They're like, oh, we have several more matches to do.
Jarrett got to the ring as fast as he could, but like in time with his music.
Yeah.
Stevie Ray was like, "Fuck it, music."
Stevie Ray's music started, and he was almost in the ring.
He was almost at the ring when his music started. Like he was not waiting.
He teleported. He uses black magic.
The only, this match was nothing, because, Stevie Ray's old and shitty, Jarrett's shitty.
Yeah.
However, there was, tons of just dumb interference in this match, or, distraction stuff, because there was Medeja.
Yeah.
There was Rick Steiner. Jarrett fucking died on the pedigree, because Stevie hooks the arms. Stevie kind of goes to give the dip.
Stevie, teases a dip. I feel like both were at fault.
Yeah.
Neither committed to doing the move, but it's one of the worst slapjacks.
And Jarrett, landed on his head, it looked like. Knee and head.
I guess the worst slapjack is the one that Rick Martel took. But this might be the second worst.
Too soon, Scott.
Yeah.
Too soon.
We lost him. We lost his... the
career.
The use of his lower back.
Yeah. After that, while the referee is distracted, fucking Medeja goes up to the top rope.
Yeah.
She's supposed to hit a double axe handle on Stevie.
Sort of dives on it and hits part of him with part of her.
And then when she lands, it almost looks like she hurts herself.
It definitely looks
because she's never had to do any athletic thing before.
Yeah, last week they made her speak, mistake. Now they're making her do moves off the top rope. This is accelerating quickly.
And
she's going to be on fire next week.
Oh. Human Torch 2.
Human Torch. Medeja versus Vampiro.
Jarrett wins. Who gives a shit? Then the next matchup is the finals of the tournament, which is Lance Storm versus Mike Awesome, which we thought would be good. The match starts out with them brawling in the entranceway and Awesome whipping Storm back and forth between two guardrails. But at one point, Awesome's I'm gonna keep doing
Awesome
this.
Being more into it than Storm.
The crowd really likes this, and he goes to grab Lance again, and Lance just collapses and crawls away. Lance is done with it, and then I imagine Lance saying "Hey, we fucking left ECW, so we didn't have to do this shit." They get back into the ring, and Lance does his signature chair shots, which are tap them as light as you can. Big wind up, gentle touch.
No, he didn't do the classic Storm chair shot. He did the hold it at the end and poke at him with it. But one was right on top of Awesome's head. It looked very uncomfortable.
Yeah. I'm just going to use the term think snapmare.
Oh man. Yeah, there's a chair in the middle of the ring. Lance looks like he's going to snapmare Awesome onto it, but then Awesome just goes down face first.
Yeah, he face plants into the chair without Lance even guiding him all the way down. He just decides, he's gonna slam my face. I'm just gonna.
Yeah, that was good.
At one point, you had said, "Mike Awesome, American hero."
Yeah, because of the big old USA chants.
Which is just so weird.
Yeah.
Like, this guy was like a dumb maniac monster like 2 weeks ago, and the crowd hated him.
Now he's
and
an
now they're
American
chanting
hero,
USA
like
at
fat
him.
girls.
There was a sick pop-up sit-out powerbomb by Awesome to Storm that was really cool.
Good.
And then Lance went up to the second for a Tornado DDT.
Where Awesome sort of forgot to bump him.
Yeah, like...
It didn't look like Lance did anything wrong.
Even watching it, you can't really understand, like, other than just,
we watched it twice, and
Lance was going down and Awesome wasn't, so he just slipped off his head.
Yeah.
And then Awesome went down, like, realized, like, oh, I lost him.
It was very odd.
But yeah, so Lance locks in the Canadian Maple Leaf. Another tap.
Yeah.
Lance taps everyone. Lance won all of his matches by tapping people.
Yeah.
So
Like, they as far as, like, WCW trying to make stars in 2000, like, they did as good a job with Lance here as they've done with anyone this year.
Yeah, and they honestly, they don't really ruin him.
No, it's not.
Like, not really. I mean, like, maybe his booking goes down a little bit, but, like...
And they do, like, the 3 titles gimmick with him. Yeah, so they do stuff with Lance.
Yeah, he actually gets to do a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
After the match, when Mike Awesome's hurt, his fat ladies get in and check on him, and then they go to help him up, and he's like, no, I don't need your help. I'm a big strong man. And then he goes stand up, and he's like, oh no, my leg! He's like, ladies, I think I do need some help. Yeah. And he puts his arms around them, and then he, like, looks at the camera and gives, like, a big old, like,
it was like
I got him.
The best acting and selling Awesome's ever done.
I'm gonna say this right now. Mike Awesome's gonna make his way into the top 5, and he's gonna stay there until he's gone.
You may be right.
Like, he's gonna do so many fucking great things, especially when he almost kills Shaggy 2 Dope.
When would that be? September 25th.
We get to the back where we have the Cat in overalls for some reason. Like, is he wearing his ref shirt over his overalls?
I guess so, because, like, we never saw the overalls again.
No. Fucking weird. He goes to...
It was like from the Rey Mysterio collection.
Yeah, he bought them from Rey. They were probably only up to his knees. They were capri overalls.
Ooh, is that the hot new look for the summer?
You know what? If I can find them, I'll wear them.
Overall capris?
Yeah, overall capris.
I like it.
Male overall capris.
A gentleman's overall capri.
Yeah, Kat goes to talk to Booker about what they need to do tonight, meaning the main event, which is next, which is Scott Steiner versus Goldberg with the Cat as special guest referee. Cat comes out, Booker comes out and sits at commentary. Steiner and Goldberg come out, getting prepped for the best match of 2000, which happens later in the year between these two.
These two have legit the 2000 WCW match of the year, for sure.
For sure.
At Fall Brawl. But this match is pretty good.
It's good.
We were like completely falls apart at the end.
Yeah.
But it was fun. Like, they were both like the two most like intense, ridiculous men.
Yeah.
So it was fun. Like, Goldberg did like a really easy
press slam,
overhead press on Steiner, and then like. And he's doing the press into the power slam, but like sort of miscalculated on the power slam. But he's so strong, he just fixed it anyway.
Yeah. Like, it's crazy. There was towards the end of the match, heel Scott Steiner puts newly baby-faced Goldberg into the Steiner recliner, which is a banned move.
Heel Steiner has the match won clean with his finish. But his finish has been arbitrarily banned by a heel commissioner.
Who banned it when he was a face.
Who banned it when Steiner was a face. So now heel Steiner is getting totally screwed, and once again I have nothing but simpy for heel Scott Steiner, who just keeps getting fucked.
Keep getting screwed.
Yeah.
Just like Kanyon, who was the rightful number 1 contender.
Yeah, give Kanyon a goddamn title shot.
He had an opportunity, he blew
Booker.
it. He had an opportunity, he blew it. Then we get, the notorious, like, bullshit.
He did blow it in 2010. Took that opportunity.
Finally committed. So, towards the end, distractions by...
It's the end of Nitro, so shit has to happen.
Midassia distracts. Booker gets in to defend his good friend Goldberg, who last show he called a mark for himself.
Correct.
He starts beating up Steiner, but Goldberg gets up behind him. Goldberg runs to do a spear at Booker.
Booker leapfrogs, but
not
Goldberg
really.
clips his leg anyway
Yeah.
and sends him flying.
And Booker does like a roll, and then when Booker
then-
lands, you can see him like,
Yeah.
fuck my knee. And then when he gets up and he kind of shakes it out, and then Goldberg spears Steiner.
Yeah, like
and-
all in the same
All in the same
motion,
motion, and then Booker's supposed to hit a big axe kick.
Yeah.
And you can see him, he's like, fuck it, I'm going to throw my bad leg anyway. So
Yeah,
he throws his
just
bad
does.
leg,
Yeah.
an axe kick and knocks him down. And then as he gets up to like celebrate, Kevin Nash returns for the
Yep.
first time in a couple weeks. And comes down to the ring, and he picks up Goldberg, who screwed him, but he is now a face. So in theory,
Yes.
does that make Nash a heel automatically?
They should be friends now.
But they weren't.
They were not.
And then he decides, well, I'm also going to powerbomb Steiner because he screwed me. So Nash does 2 jackknives to 2 dudes that are not easy to
Two
jackknife.
huge men, and both look good.
Yeah, like Steiner doesn't usually go up easy.
They're like the 2 best jackknives he's ever hit.
Yeah, so it was pretty crazy.
On just a couple of muscle men.
Big old muscle man. And then Nash just leaves.
Leaves. He like winks at
Peace
Booker,
out.
leaves,
Blows him a kiss.
grabs the beer he walked down with.
Yeah, of course. He's got to come down with a
Because he's
beer.
super cool.
He's the coolest man you've ever met.
And, yeah. And that was it, right?
Mm.
That was the show.
That's the end of the show.
Well, we did it. Well, I hope you enjoyed the July 18th, 2000 edition of the #1 alt-right